Hey guys, Corey here. Welcome to Blue Talks, and I hope you enjoy this video.
Good morning. It's an honor to be at the University of Oxford here in Oxford, England, to speak with you today. Yesterday, I shared a story with you from when I was 15 years old, how life cracked me open, and I had to find my way back to myself, to my true, real self. You see, that story was not about a cancer diagnosis or even about basketball. That story was about remembering the flame within. Our defining moments don't have to be recent. Life keeps inviting us to rise again and again. Just when you think that you're done, life will come up and say, nope, there's more. One of my most recent memorable events was on my flight here to London last Thursday. I met a beautiful lady who had been through so much. Divorce after 27 years. A devastating accident that took her away from work. She lost both parents and a brother. And all of this was within a 2-year time period. She said that it felt like it was just back to back to back. And you know that moment when you just see yourself in someone else's eyes? That was it for me. Because I recognized the emptiness. I've been there. That space where your life just feels like it's completely gone out. It's empty. I looked at her and I said, your life isn't over. Not even close. Something in her eyes lit. Her flame wasn't gone. It was waiting to be remembered. And maybe, just maybe, yours is too. That's what this whole message, this whole talk is really about. The art of letting go. We live in a society where we've been taught how to achieve, how to climb, how to add more and more and more. More certifications, more degrees, more accolades. But we're never taught how to release, how to breathe, how to let go of the things that we were never meant to carry. You know, when I say that getting rid of things you were never meant to carry, I'm not talking about just decluttering your calendar or cleaning out your closet. I mean the heavier things, the invisible ones, such as the expectations that were never yours, the guilt that someone else has handed to you, the belief that you have to earn your worth, and I lived that for many years. The stories that told you to play small, to be quiet, don't make waves. We carry all of that every day until the weight actually overtakes and becomes our identity. And then one day, something inside of us just whispers, "This isn't me anymore. Whose life am I living? Who am I?" That is the fire moment. That's the invitation to let it burn. Because when the false layers fall away, what's left is not loss, it's truth. Fire doesn't destroy who you are, it destroys who you're not. And that's the liberation that I'm talking about today. Not the kind that adds more, the kind that finally sets you free. Liberation doesn't come from adding, it comes from releasing, letting it go. Fire doesn't destroy what's true, it just burns away what isn't. Over time, throughout my life, I've started to see a pattern, but not just in my life, but in the lives of other people that I've worked with, associated with. There's a rhythm to transformation, and I call it the flame spiral. There are 4 phases of the flame spiral. The first is ignition, and I shared my story yesterday. That's where the spark returns. That's where you say, there's more. There's got to be more than this. The second is empowerment, and that's remembering who you really are. And that's deep work. It takes time to really delve in and find out who are you, because you're shedding all of the layers that are not true to you. The next is probably the most challenging, and that's courage. That's actually walking back into your life and taking control, not allowing your life to control you. You're controlling it. And transformation, that's when you have shed what no longer fits. And here's the truth. We don't go through this just once. We go through it over and over. And each time we rise with more grace and more strength. We become a better version of ourselves. That's what I do today. I help people return to their flame. Not by giving them answers, but by helping them hear their own. The flame never leaves. It just waits to be remembered. Why? Because I've been there. And I do this because I know what it feels like to forget, to lose your voice, and to wonder if there's anything left inside. And I also know what it feels like to rise again, to feel that spark come back to life, to feel that I've actually come back to myself. I built my company, Dracarys Coaching, from that same fire. Now, for any of you Game of Thrones fans, you'll recognize the term Dracarys. Dracarys means dragon fire in High Valyrian. I used to think that fire equaled destruction. But now to me, fire is the truth. It burns away all the illusion. It purifies us. It reveals what's real. And when I work with clients, I don't set their world on fire. I help them remember the fire that's already inside. Dracarys is a call to awaken that flame, to live boldly, truthfully, unapologetically alive. So here's what I want to leave you with. The unburdened heart doesn't fear the fire. It becomes it. You're not your pain. You're not your past or your circumstances. You are the flame that outlasted them. And when life feels heavy, when you're unsure what comes next, I want you to remember the fire within you is still burning, and it's waiting for your command. Dracarys.